Hi everyone, and welcome to RollBound 2. I am your DM, Chas, and I'm going to go down the list and have everyone introduce themselves, starting with Groove.
Good tidings. I am Groove, and I am bound to the role of Jonathan Oneros Phage.
Alrighty, Allie.
Hello, I'm Ali, and I am bound to the role of Prince Xander.
Alright, Minnow.
Hello, I am Minnow, and I am bound to the role of Vivian Deshays.
Alright, Joey.
My name is Joey, and I'm bound to the role of Jay Elwood. Forgot his last name for a second.
Alright, Dakota.
Hello everyone, my name is Dakota, and I am bound to the role of Lysel.
And last but never least, Mickey.
Hi, I'm Mickey, and I am bound to the role of Emiko.
If I keep, repeating that joke, I will just sit here and just stim that line over and over again.
Fucking pummel my brain against the
Your
wall.
rat's ass.
Just, alright, what's in the next room? You got ghosts in your blood, you should do cocaine about it. Okay.
Fucking strangle you.
But where we last left off, you guys were in that really big room with all of the ghosts, dangling from the ceiling. And unless I'm mistaken, I do believe that you guys were going to go ahead.
Yeah, we're going upstairs. Fuck this room.
Alright. My phone screen turned off. Okay. I'm actually going to go into my images, because I have an image saved for this next one. But, as you all progress, again, it's just a singular spiral staircase that kind of attaches at the end of a singular room. And in the next one, there's actually a bit of light. You can see it kind of coming down the spiral staircase. There's actually a little bit of light coming from the next floor. In the next room, again, same thing. It is a circular room, but this one, there is a few paintings. There's painting supplies in here as well, filling in the corners of the room. There's canvases that are still wrapped up in parchment paper, haven't even been opened. There's linens wrapped around paintbrushes that look like they've never been used. And on one side of the room there are two paintings, and on the other side of the room, parallel to it, there are also another two paintings, making four in total. And they're kind of in a ellipse shape, a oval shape. And at the very back of the room, parallel to the door, the entryway that you are in.
And the door was at the top of a flight of stairs?
Yes.
Okay.
Ouch.
As we look into the room, do we see another staircase going up?
Yeah, you're still in it. So basically, all of this has been, there's, a flight of stairs, a staircase going up, and then at each floor, there's just, a branch off that lets you go into whatever room. But you can keep going up, if that makes sense.
Do we just want to real quick, take a cursory peek in each of the remaining doors?
Yes.
Instead of going in each one individually?
So you want to pop open each one, see what happens?
I want to see. Can I real quick? You said that there were a lot of linens that were wrapped around various things. The condition of the linens, do they look like they're in good shape still?
They look like they are old, but they haven't been disturbed.
So, if I were to, say, grab a couple of, really big bolts of cloth from some of the shit that it's wrapped around, it wouldn't, deteriorate in any way?
No. Sorry, I was
No?
I was posting the image that I had found.
Oh, the statue. Okay. Then I would like to take a couple of bigger. I want to take linens that seem really large, just like some big sheets of cloth.
For what purpose? If you don't mind me asking.
You never know when you'll need them. First off, second off, depending on where we go, ancient linens could be worth a lot of money.
Yeah, and the fabric is very like smooth, despite it being old. Maybe covered in a little bit of dust, but it's almost silky.
That's fine. I think for now, because I'm still rocking a scabbardless greatsword, I'm gonna wrap the linens around the sword to act as sort of like a makeshift sheath while I find another actual purpose for this.
Sweet. But you all continue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Going up to the next floor, as you are starting to head up the stairs, maybe about halfway up, you start to, and these are very obvious, you do not need to make checks for them, you start to hear the sounds of like a harp playing.
Is it coming from somewhere, or like?
It is coming from above you, seemingly the next floor, but it's a little, I don't want to, it's a little loud, so it's like kind of echoing. But it's definitely coming from above you as opposed to below you.
Cool. Peek in the room, check out what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, in the next room, you see that this is probably the most normal, quote-unquote, looking area that you've seen so far coming into this tower. The room is well lit. There are actually, like, torches lining the walls that look like they have been lit recently. There's, like... it kind of just looks like a nice room in someone's house, still circular in shape. But there's like a rug on the floor, there's like a few chairs and stuff like that, although they are like also wrapped in linens, as is most of the furniture in this place. And in the literal middle of the room, you see a robed figure facing away from you, not facing the entrance to the room. Sitting on like a little stool and playing just this giant harp. And their fingers look like, I don't want to say bloodied, but they look like a little raw, like someone who's been like playing for a really long time and should probably take a break.
Xander's gonna call out to the person and ask if they are okay.
You see them like pluck like a singular note, and it like kind of rings in the air for a second. And the individual turns around, like looks at you over their shoulder, and you see that it's a woman. Her eyes are completely black, like in coloration. And she's wearing like a bunch of smudged makeup. Kind of looks like it was normal at some point, but like maybe got wet somehow. And she like squints her eyes and she says, "You can see me?"
Well, I mean, I hope so. Otherwise, this conversation's a little awkward.
She stands up very suddenly, and like someone who's been like caught doing something, she starts like dusting off her dress, which is just a bunch of like draped fabric over her. It's not a very like nice looking dress. It looks like it's just made up of like whatever she can find that's been haphazardly stitched. And some of there's like a veil over her head that kind of like drapes around her shoulder. A shawl. I couldn't remember the word shawl. And
While she's doing all that, Jelwood, can we get a divine sense on this woman?
A divine sense? I mean, I think she's clearly a ghost. Yeah, I'm gonna divine sense.
Yeah. Your divine sense like clocks this woman as an undead. However, for every other part of this mini dungeon type thing that you have used your divine sense, all of the other places said desecrated. Like, you got this like nasty, sickly, sweet smell, and this like sense that you get here actually is very pleasant. This floor, singularly, is what's the opposite? Consecrated?
Yes, consecrated.
Yeah, this floor specifically is consecrated.
Okay.
Xander is going to point out to the woman that she didn't really answer his question about whether or not she's okay.
Oh, you're right. I didn't. No, I'm not.
You going to elaborate on that, or?
I must apologize. I have not... Well, I've seen many people, but I have not spoken to many people. I've been stuck for a long time.
Why?
Well, she like kind of like, her arms kind of like fall loose at her side, and she like looks like she's trying to think really hard, and she goes, I don't know.
What's keeping you here?
She starts to like walk forward, and she approaches the doorway that you're like standing in, and she like holds up her hands as if like showing her hands that she's not like doing anything, and she says, if I may, and she goes to like put her hand outside of this room, and it turns to ash for every bit of it that goes outside of it. And then when she pulls her hand back, it's normal. If I leave this room, I become like all the other souls in this tower.
Dust?
Well, it appears as turning to dust, but I feel myself losing myself. My senses fading. I can't explain to you how I know, but I know if I step out of this room, I'll end up like the others. Senseless and part of some art exhibit.
I mean, in fairness, if I tried to stick my arm out of a door and it turned to dust, I probably wouldn't want to leave that room either. Well, in that case, you sit tight. We're going to keep looking around and see what's causing all this and hopefully shut it down. Come on, lads. And then Xander's going upstairs.
Yeah, she'll like take a step back and wave as you all pass.
What's on the next floor?
Can I get a quick refresher on the purpose of the tower visit?
We're trying to clean it up so other people can take it over.
We're just trying to get rid of all the ghosts. We didn't have any like source of why there's desecrated ground all over the fucking place.
Yeah, nobody really had a solution for us. We're ghost busting right now.
Then I'm going to, before we leave, ask the ghost that is not feral.
Before we head out of here, is there by any chance anything that you could tell us about how to stop the desecration?
She taps on the chin and says, I'm not really sure. The next floor up is the top of the museum. I imagine that's where the artist kept all of his secrets, I should say.
Well, thank you.
And he's gonna follow.
taking a
So-
drink real quick.
So, my first question, if the next floor is the top of the museum, is there more stairs beyond that?
There is not. The next floor up, you notice that the stairs don't continue, and instead of like going in a full spiral, they kind of like halfway spiral up and then flatten into the last entryway.
So there's no roof access from here.
No. You can see,
Okay.
when you get to the top, you can see like into the arched ceiling. There's no attic or anything. You can just see up into the like rafters and stuff that kind of build up the tip of the tower.
Yeah, I'm gonna try the door.
This room, sorry, I'm grabbing my notes again. My phone doesn't have a long, like, screen alive time. Alright. The last room of the tower is the only one that has a door that goes into it. And when you go to try the door, it is locked. But
Okay.
nothing unbecome happens when you touch it or anything.
Can I see through, like, the keyhole or anything into the room?
Oh, sorry, burping in threes. Yeah, when you kneel down to look through the keyhole, you don't really see much, but you do see that there is something, not enough for it to be considered, like a light source, but you do see that there is something glowing from within the room.
What type of glowing?
Best way I can say it is it's definitely not like a natural glow. It has to be something magical by nature.
Okay, I'm gonna try summoning my mage hand on the other side of the door.
Yep, your mage hand summons.
I'm gonna pop the lock.
Yeah, and you hear, like, at first there's like a little bit of force behind it, like it's like rusted shut, but you hear like the scraping of metal as the door unlocks.
Okay, and then I'm gonna have the mage hand open the unlocked door.
Yeah. The door, like, has like a little bit of resistance. It seems like everything is well kept in this place except for this door. There's like even dust that seems to like cloud in the area because just moving the door disturbed it. And similarly to the you have dark vision, right, Xander? I'm not talking out of my ass.
Yeah, 60 feet.
Yeah, similarly to the a few of the other places in this tower, this room is filled with a bunch of like art supplies, but in comparison to everything else, this stuff is seemingly aged. You can tell that the bristles on the paintbrushes are no good, some of it's fallen apart. The linens are old and dirty and covered in like water stains, and they look like dry and crusty. There are canvases in here that look like they were like homemade, but they are also just rotted. Seemingly have taken like water damage or something of some kind. The paint in this room, there's not any of the fancy murals like there are in any of the other places. The only thing that looks well kept in this room is that there is a marble pedestal, kind of like in the back corner, adjacent to a window. The only window you... Ow! I almost knocked my drink over, sorry. The only window in this place that you've seen, really at all, that isn't, like, boarded up, it's very small. Like, you could maybe shimmy your head and a shoulder through, and that would be about as much of yourself as you can get into it. But even so, even with a window, there doesn't seem to be any light coming into here from it. But directly next to it, there is a marble pedestal with this glass ball, just very carefully nestled on it.
Johnny, would you care to take a look at that glass ball? I think it could potentially be the source of evil in this place.
As you turn to say this to him, he is already eye on the ball.
Yeah, and as you get close to it, Johnny, you didn't hear it from the entrance of the room, but as you get closer to it, you start to hear this, like, kind of hissing noise coming from it at the same time as it sounds like there's, like, running water. I don't know how to explain this noise fully, but it doesn't sound like running water like you're standing by a river, but I don't know if you've ever heard the sound of, like, water when you bring, like, a camera underwater. That kind of noise where it sounds like it's filling your ears, but that's the sound that it's kind of emitting.
Johnny will point this out to the party, and he will try and ritual identify the ball.
And you said you're going to ritual cast it?
Yeah.
Okay.
While he's doing that, just real quick, I want to take a look at this window. Does it appear to have any wards or anything on it?
Make me an Arcana check.
Okay. I will guide myself for this, because I don't believe I currently have any concentration effects going. That is 22.
Yeah, you kind of look at it, and you, what the fuck was that? Oh, okay. Sorry. You are looking at it, and it looks like there is an enchantment on this, and when you try to, like, figure out what it is, you, notice that it is a similar, God, effect to everything downstairs, but for some reason it is completely faded. Like, you notice that it also has something to do with paint lining the outside of the window, that basically has an effect that keeps the light from pouring in. But it's so faded and not as lively or well maintained as the rest of the tower that without, like, taking an extra look and trying to, like, peer into it, it wasn't as noticeable. Sorry, that was a simpler statement.
Yeah, I'm going to take a close look at, like, trying to look through this window. Is it completely opaque?
No, you can see into the outside. You can see that you are in a tower that is 6 stories up, and you can overlook this part of the city that you're in. You can see the hedges of the quote-unquote garden at the entrance of this tower. And you can see the city of Skymount. You can see that it is still semi-early in the day. But when it comes to the outside affecting the inside, like the sunlight coming into the window, that it stops.
Does Xander know if breaking the glass would help here? Because, like, my logic here is if, like, the window is part of the ward, you know, it's keeping all of the daylight out and all this other shit, then maybe disrupting... I'm thinking of it, like, almost in terms of, like, an electrical circuit, right? So, like, if I bust the window, maybe that'll, like, untrap the spirits.
Just because 22 is a good roll, you don't think that it'll free the spirits, but you do think that it'll disrupt whatever is keeping the light coming from inside. Ugh. You don't think that it'll free the spirits, but you do think that it'll at least disrupt whatever is keeping the light from coming in.
So, if the spirits had an opening, i.e. a broken window, what is currently stopping them from leaving?
Last session, we discussed that the walls had some sort of, like, magical effect, like the entirety of the tower itself. And, like, it was something about, like, the paint, and that obviously wasn't the only thing, because that stuff, like, wears over time. But, again, since that was a really good roll, judging by the way that everything kind of shifted, you imagine that this room, like, technically the tower for the spirits ends at the floor previous, the 5th floor, not this one.
Got it. Okay. No, that makes sense.
Yeah, because this one, I did say it, but I guess I should have been more clear as well. Like, this one doesn't have all the same murals, or, like, it looks like the enchantment ended before this room, and that this is just, like, above it, and part of the same tower, but it doesn't have the same enchantment on it.
So what does Johnny get from that identify?
Yeah, so, with Identify, there is several things coming from it. For one, there is, of course, necromancy, but there's also, like, transmutation, evocation, as well as illusion magic, kind of all pooled together inside of the orb. There are no spells that I could, like, just say or cast on it, but it does have several effects going on within it. There's a lot of magic protecting it, as well as a lot of magic. You can, to make this simpler, while you don't know exactly how, you can tell that this definitely has something to do with what's going on here.
What
Is
does
there-
it do?
Yeah, is there some effect that blocks Johnny from knowing like how it interacts with the rest of what's going on? Because like normally he would just know how to use it and like what it does.
Essentially, if you attune to this item, you can... Hold on, I was trying to say it from memory, but I'm gonna open up my notes. Alright, there we go. If you attune to this item, you can control the spirits within the tower.
Control them to do what? What is the extent of the control? Can we make them take specific actions, or is it more like a mass command thing?
Mass command.
So by speaking one command, we influence all the spirits of the tower.
Yes, and also there is a specific, obviously, when you use Identify, it doesn't give you a fancy TTRPG written explanation of how things work, but there is like a clause of like specifically within the tower. So say if you instructed them to leave, if they left the tower, you would no longer have control over them when they're outside of it.
Johnny's gonna start attuning to the sphere.
Yeah, can we just command them to move on to the afterlife?
Yeah, like is the sphere like somehow like keeping the curse in place, or is this just like a red herring?
We're gonna find out in an hour. Hey, do we ever remove curse?
I do.
Awesome. Yeah, Johnny's gonna start attuning to it.
While Johnny is attuning to it, because that takes an hour, Xander is going to cast Goodberry twice and start taking a short rest.
We got slept all 12 months. Might as well.
Doesn't the I thought desecration did something as well, like to undead creatures. Doesn't it make them stronger or some shit?
There are no rules for desecration or consecration. It is completely DM fiat. The only guidelines for what desecration or consecration might do can be found in the Hollow spell.
Hollow spell.
But that's not memory serves as more rules for the spell itself, less than what consecration or desecration does.
Oh, you pick the effect.
Or maybe it's not Hollow. Which one is it? Maybe it's Forbidden. And that's one of the things on the cleric list. Is consecrate, desecrate a spell?
It's called Hallow.
Well, I just looked up Hallow, but it doesn't say anything about it.
While they're doing that, so we're going to spend an hour attuning to this ball?
Yeah, Johnny said that he was going to attune to it.
I think that's a great idea.
Because the words hollow or desecrate and consecrate aren't in here. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Delightful.
while that's going on, Vivian's just going to go down one floor and talk to the harpist.
Yeah, when you walk back down, like, she had gone back to playing her harp.
Yeah. And I think Vivian's just gonna like sit for like an hour and just like hang out with her and just ask her a bunch of questions. You know, like, what do you remember? What's going on here? Who are you? Blah blah blah. Get her life story. Chat with her a bit. Probably sketch her. Just like hang out with a person that has been forced to play harp nonstop.
Yeah, you actually find out quite a few interesting things. For one, now it's kind of obvious, this one, but this tower used to be an art museum. And all, I guess, evidence of, like, who ran it, because it was an art museum that was basically tribute to a very specific artist. But all evidence of that person existing has been completely wiped from the tower. Like, she has no idea who it is. She can't, like, she says that there's, like, in this room, there's, like, books and stuff like that. She can't find anything. No signatures, no nothing. And that, something happened that made it have to close. And the artist individual got really, really pissed. But was secretly doing fucked up experiments on undead while this was all going on. And at some point, after the museum closed, was living in here, and then several years ago, just randomly up and left. Like, just abandoned it. Left it just as it was, didn't undo any of the magic, didn't do anything, just left all of the undead that were swarming this tower in here. And she has no idea where the individual went, why they were doing what they were doing, and she has not seen the other floors and what's wrong with them, because she's been stuck in this room.
So with that information, can I walk around this room and try and piece together? She said several years. I assume she doesn't know how long ago it's been.
Yeah, she doesn't. She just says that she knows it's been years because, duh.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go like just around these two rooms, this room and the room upstairs, and just like find whatever shit I can find and try and piece together as much as I can about this artist. Like if there's like any personal effects, if there's, I don't know, anything that like tells me how much time has passed, as much as she can.
Yeah, make me an investigation check.
Sure. Hey, you know, sometimes you roll a 2. Yeah, no, that's a 9.
Yeah, you don't find much, but you do gather 2 things that may be useful, is that the artist the artist's favored mediums were just dark ink drawings and, paint.
Okay. Yeah, that's what Vivian does in the hour. She will let everyone else know what she found out. And when the hour is up, we will proceed.
Yeah, and the ghost also tells you one more thing. She tells you that her name is Lorena. And she also tells you that's not her real name, but it's the name of one of the paintings that was in here, and it's one of the only things she can remember about when she was alive, so she's chosen that as her name.
Okay. Does the painting look like her at all? If it's in this floor.
It's not on that one. She says that it's one of the floors below her.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't look like her or anything. She just remembers it and is fond of it, so she chose that as her name.
Sounds good.
All right. And at the end of the hour, and thus at the end of the short rest, Johnny, you are fully attuned to the, like, weird glass ball And real quick, when this thing sort of like, you kind of like feel this energy pulse through you when you fully attune to it. Real quick, can you make me a perception check? But make so at advantage because your dream senses are tingling.
Gladly.
I couldn't think of the word that I normally use when telling you to make a check that's dream related, and so yeah.
Natty 20 for a total of 24.
Holy shit. Yeah. When you... Oh, sorry, I'm gonna take a drink real quick. Yeah. When you attune to the orb, you are actually... I don't want to say surprised, but you feel this surge of energy, and you feel yourselves kind of connect to dozens of individual, the way that you would perceive it is like specks of people's dreams, people's wishes and ambitions. You feel like when connected to this glass ball, you can connect with every single fragment of a person within this tower, and that effectively what this was a way to have all of them connected to one source, and that is how it is able to control it. You can't use it to make them like pass on or make them like leave the tower, but using this orb you can make it to where if you... Sorry, I'm hearing myself echo from someone and it's confusing me. I don't know where though, so I'm like interrupting myself in my own brain. But essentially, if you can use it to pacify them, and also I'm a liar. You can use it to help them leave the tower. You just won't be able to control them after. That is, I'm stupid. But that will just release them. Basically, having control over this, you can allow them to ignore the charm on the building. It's just when they leave, they will still be ghosts. But also, if you destroy it or break it, you don't even have to fully destroy it, but if you break it, that will allow the fragments of each of the people from within it to rejoin, and when they are whole again, they will be allowed to move on.
Okay. So
repeat what
if
you
we
just
let
said?
them go now, they just leave the tower, but they're still ghosts.
Yes.
If we break it, then the fragments recombine, become whole again, and then they can pass on?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Yeah, just bring it.
Okay. Johnny first is going to command all the fragments that can to come up and become passive.
Yeah, you see any of the... You hear probably what's, if you didn't know that you were like in control of the situation, a sound that would be very, very concerning. You can hear and also feel the presence of several, ghosts and spirits of multiple kinds, like coming forth. It almost feels like they're coming from the floorboards because it starts to vibrate a little. And the first one that makes it up is obviously Lorena, and she looks like bewildered. She's like, what the fuck? I can leave the room. What the hell? And like she just stands there very patiently, and then all of the other spirits, most of them being the ones from that one exhibit of like the strewn up clothing and people kind of like dangling from a ceiling, all come up and kind of like clutter into the front part of this room. And the room's 60 by 60 feet, so like, a lot of them can make it in here and just kind of fill the other half of the room. You also see, like, one of the spirits displays as this, like, tall woman with claws. The other one's, like, a 3-headed man. You even see one that kind of looks like a fucked up, stitched together, like, chimera-like creature. But they all clutter up at the other half of this room and at the top end of the stairs.
So, the reason we had this ad is because there was wailing, right?
Yes.
Okay, and Johnny, since he can feel these fragments, do they feel like they're suffering in any way? Is anyone home?
Yes.
Ah.
You essentially start to understand that the parts of them that are left outside are basically perpetually suffering, yearning to be whole again, and yearning to be able to leave, just in any capacity. But they weren't able to, because since they were not the full versions of themselves, this charm that was just inlaid in the paint in the walls kept them there. And because they were not full, because tiny little pieces of them were trapped within this sort of like crystal ball situation, they were just wandering. And whenever people came in, either they would attack them, or the people couldn't even fucking see them and interact with them in any way. But they are suffering. They are here against their will.
This orb and the man who created it are great evils. They have perpetuated immense suffering of the people in this tower for centuries. He turns to Jay. Sir Elwood, if you would. He notions down to the sledgehammer in his golf bag.
Let me ponder this orb for a moment.
Not ponder the orb.
Yeah, this needs to go. We're getting rid of it.
And I'm gonna pull out the, Oh, shit. Actually, do we know if it matters? I was gonna say, do we know if it matters what I hit it with? Because I do have, like, I could just straight up use my fucking warhammer.
DM, I'm attuned to the item. Would it matter?
No.
Okay, then yeah, I'm gonna pull out the Firebrand Warhammer, and I'm, with both hands, gonna bring my arms up way over my head, and I'm gonna say,
you should probably put it down somewhere so I don't hit you.
And then I'm gonna swing.
Yeah, Gelwood, make me an attack roll.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know, right? That's gonna be a 14.
That hits. Go ahead and give me damage.
Yep, and I'm gonna smite it as well.
Smite it!
And I'm gonna use a second level spell slot, so that's 4d8.
Fuck this orb in particular.
So it's gonna be 36 points of damage to the orb.
Yeah, and you...
24 of which is radiant, if it matters.
Yeah, because that actually makes something unique happen. When
oh, hell yeah.
you, like, slam the warhammer down onto this orb, you see that, like, at first it kind of absorbs the shock, but you see, like, where it only made, like, the slightest crack, and then the radiant energy from you smiting it, like, smacks into it, and you see that this ivory light fills all of the cracks and then suddenly makes them into, like, whole craters in the glass. You see flecks of glass fly everywhere, and basically just it kind of looks like a busted open geode now, where the little sharp glowing pieces look like they are just filled with radiant energy, and it looks like the inside is hollow, and it kind of had this magic-y effect that looked like swirling smoky liquid filling through. And when it juts open, all of this energy starts to spill out that is like black and blue and gray colored smoke and liquid all at the same time starts to spill out of it very rapidly. Like the orb starts to vibrate, and you do hear the sound of like several voices wailing when this happens. Shouting, screaming, and then you also hear the sounds of like literal confusion, like a group of confused people like, huh? What?
Oh.
Huh? And you see all of this energy kind of pour into the creatures that have like found themselves standing in front of you since Johnny brought them here. And you see all of this energy like absorb into them all at once. And it fills the entire room with like bright, blinding light for a solid like 10 seconds. And when the light fades, there is a bunch of like glittering, it's not gold dust, but it like looks like gold dust, falling from ceiling to floor like snow, kind of.
And one more evil has been cleansed from this world.
But, Johnny, since you are still attuned to it, the item still lets you do things.
Gasp.
Hold on, I'm gonna type it in.
What is it? Got it.
Well, I guess I'm going to step outside and call a corpse disposal team real quick, because there's still a lot of dead motherfuckers in here.
We're gonna need Carl's cleaners.
Yeah, we're going to need Carl's cleaners for sure.
Hey, speaking of corpses, can I get like 3 corpses?
Did Johnny say this out loud?
Yeah, Johnny says out loud, I don't suppose there are any corpses still in this building.
I
Take a
imagine
few.
there's quite a few.
Oh, I'll take a few on the way out.
Like, sorry, what?
No problem. I'll collect them in my vessel for you.
Oh,
I'm
well, thank you,
sorry.
Sandra.
Wait. Why is that no problem?
What? The dead?
Well, they're dead. They don't mind.
Lysol's gonna look to Gelwood. Is that alright?
I don't think I. What?
Johnny
So,
wants
like,
to make zombies.
If I'm remembering correctly, the corpses were like mangled beyond recognition, right?
Oh, Johnny. Oh, he wants to reanimate them. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
He hasn't said this. He just needs corpses for now.
Yeah.
What? Why? What is the significance of the corpses inside of the tower? Shouldn't we, empty the tower of the corpses? Shouldn't we clean the place up a bit? Isn't that what our job is to do? Is to get rid of the screaming and then clean up the tower?
No,
Or at least
we're
make
going
it
to be
usable?
cleaning up the tower. We're going to be getting rid of the corpses, and Johnny's going to be keeping a couple for himself. Everyone wins.
Okay, why are you keeping them?
You know, as
Why?
a paladin, I think it's probably better if you don't.
I'm
No,
gonna
it is
disagree
better
with
that
you
I
on
know
that.
because I am a paladin. This is my MO.
But if you know, then you won't have plausible deniability for whatever fucked up shit you're going to do to them.
When has
Mr.
plausible
Phage.
deniability ever mattered for me?
Mr. Phage, what do you intend to do with the corpses?
I'm going to infuse them with the spirit of justice.
Okay,
That sounds
so,
like making zombies. That sounds like you're making zombies.
which we can talk about. I do just want to make sure, because I guess here's the thing. I don't want to misunderstand where you're at. What do you think is going to happen if you walk around the streets with 3 zombies?
Mm,
Genuine question. What do you think will happen?
well, I don't think anything particularly. They might. Oh, we'll need to get them shoes because their feet may degrade on the
Okay,
pavement.
yeah. So we're gonna have to have a little bit of a talk. We can do that
now,
later.
There have definitely been undead paladins before, but most of these individuals were, dampiers and the like, the kind that still have their brains intact, and both literally and metaphorically speaking. So I don't know that it's the best idea for us to try to create mindless subjects that bend to our will in the name of justice. That sounds kind of anti-heroic to me.
Why is it anti-heroic? It will serve in the cleansing of evil.
Because they're puppets. You understand why that's wrong, yes? To have a puppet that does your bidding?
No. They aren't suffering in any way.
They're also not living. They're just using magic to, it's basically like making a marionette.
Puppets
Can you
aren't
do that with,
intrinsically
like...
evil, are they?
Now, I haven't died before, so I'm not sure what the afterlife is like. But I had to imagine that if I were dead and there were an afterlife and I could see that somebody was using my desecrated corpse to do all kinds of things, regardless of his intentions, I might be at least a little bit upset about that.
Lysel, as our resident expert on the recently and not so recently departed, what do you think of it? Will the souls of the dead suffer somehow if we reanimate their corpses?
I would imagine they would get angry, but in terms of suffering physically or mentally, besides mental anguish, probably not.
I have a hard time imagining that they care about much of anything anymore.
That's kind of where I'm at, too.
I mean, could you at least use bodies that have, like, consented or, like, that are
Or
evil?
that we've killed.
Yeah, or evil, because, like, I feel a little dirty getting them out of a building that we knew the ghosts were held here against their wills.
Mr. Phage, I think that this actually very neatly ties into what I was going to bring up. The use of undead in your quest, whatever in our quest, is a contentious topic for a lot of people. And if we walk around the city with the freshly animated dead, we will be arrested, maybe attacked. So it is one of those things where we should probably have a talk about the societal expectations.
Is that a thing here?
Is that not a thing where you're from?
No.
No, I apologize for making an assumption. Yes,
I knew it was kind of. I knew that it was kind of
just
50-50 back in Retka, but
it's kind of just embalm the dead and wrap them in a bunch of bandages and let them continue
makes sense
on.
to me. It's more a situation of, I could walk down every street riding a dragon. Every single street though, I would have to explain that the dragon is safe. And, there's someone who's not going to listen to that. So it's best if we have the conversation first and probably don't do it in the city. But we can talk about it.
In that scenario, it's a dragon. It's not meant to be safe. Otherwise, we wouldn't need it.
It was a bad analogy. I apologize.
Although we should petition about getting, like, some kind of donor cards or something. I don't know, maybe something you could put on your adventuring license or your identification and papers and some such. I donate my body to anti-science.
Sure, we should all make our wills. Great.
Let's write the reanimation process into all of our wills and then have it be locked behind a giant barrier of bureaucratic red tape.
So that being said, Lady Emiko, these bodies, you're correct, they have been trapped in here for a very long time. However, the souls are now at peace, more so than they have ever been, since they have spent who knows how long tormented in here. The bodies that we have passed have been mostly decayed beyond recognition. I don't think that they need them anymore.
What if instead of using the whole corpse, use, like, their bones?
That is an excellent idea, certainly. I could use merely a pile of bones, and they may not stink as poorly, though their constitution may be weaker without the extra padding.
That's fine. For some reason, I've seen that skeletons are much better archers anyway.
They don't have all that decayed muscle and skin getting in the way.
Very true. And hey, we could, there's a lesson to be learned about taking care of pets here. You could charge Johnny to make sure that he washes his skeletons every couple of days.
That is a very fucked up statement when you're talking about corpses. But it is a good point to make still.
They're just bones.
No,
Yeah,
they
okay.
used to be people.
Okay, so
Okay.
actually, I have decided now that I'm going to have this course on societal expectations of the undead with both Johnny and Prince Sander. Thank you both for attending. We'll do that before bed.
The bones are good.
Bones are good.
Bones are good.
Mr. Page, bones are good.
Bones are good is
Bones
such a
are
funny
good.
statement. I'm gonna put that on a
Johnny,
t-shirt.
Bones are good is crazy.
Thoroughly confused by this.
People have bones the way
Oh.
whales have bones.
People have
If you
bones
have
like
the
whales
flesh.
have them.
On the bones, it's bad and immoral. But if you remove the bones from the corpse,
I mean,
acceptable?
it's only immoral if you don't get permission first, if they have skin.
Why does this
Now I'm confused.
add the requirement of consent?
Not to overstep my boundaries or try to imply anything, but I think the thing that Emiko is trying to say is that if it is just a skeleton, it is impossible to tell who the person underneath once was, which means that there is no way to get consent from
But
any
a person
parties.
must have been was, or else there wouldn't be a skeleton.
Oh,
Person
don't get me
must have
wrong.
been-
I'm not trying to defend her or play devil's advocate. I'm just saying that I think I understand the position she's trying to take.
Vivian is collecting bones. 3 people's worth of bones.
No, he's gonna look at
Getting
Eviko. Eviko, I don't understand.
What don't you understand?
Wait a
If you
minute.
have-
Wait, hold on. Aren't you from the spirit world? Do people even, leave corpses there? Thought y'all were ethereal shit.
I mean, I've seen corpses in the spirit world.
How does that even work?
You go
I-
to super hell.
I don't know, but technically I'm from this realm. I wasn't born in the spirit realm. I've only been in the spirit realm for maybe 2 weeks.
But what does the flesh do to make it so important?
We can go
Okay.
over that later.
No. I feel like I need to settle my point here.
Okay.
What I'm
Vivian
saying
takes notes.
is I'm uncomfortable with you using anybody really as to use as a zombie or whatever without you getting a hey, it's okay to use my body after death kind of thing, or it's from people that we've killed because they're bad. But this is a compromise I'm willing to make on the bones because I just
If
want
this-
us to get out of here.
If this artist is dead, do I need his permission to use this sphere in the cleansing of evil?
That's
Do you need the
different.
permission of a dead carpenter to use his hammer? No, it is no different.
Yes, it is.
Actually, depending on who the carpenter was, yes, you do absolutely need his permission. But this artist very clearly did not like any of the people in here, whether they were alive or dead, and did a lot of very fucked up things. So I don't think that consent really applies when we're trying to use his orb. In other matters, of course, absolutely, but for his orb, absolutely not.
Yuri is scribbling from Vivian over in the corner, getting all of this for the session later.
Nay, all that serves in the cleansing of evil is good and right. You need not the permission of someone who is deceased to use what once was theirs for benevolence.
Where are you getting these rules? I just want to know.
It is simple logic. And it is my duty to cleanse evil. But If it comforts you, then I will take merely the bones.
Yeah, we'll collect all the skin and organs and everything that's left, sweep it into a dustpan, and dump it outside.
And we can eat the flesh.
No!
Maybe don't do that, and I think actually we should bury that instead of just tossing it out, because that's a lot more proper.
Now you're just being
in the middle of the city.
What?
There's a garden.
Where?
There's
Okay,
a garden.
hang on. We don't have to clean the tower. We cleansed the tower. I'm not breaking out a fucking sponge. This is on the guards who were too lazy to go up 2 stairs to figure out what was going on. They can pick up the rest of the tower and the bodies.
Did we even loot this place? This guy was rich, wasn't he? I feel like there's at least something we're taking.
And
you're right. Let's take some.
Yeah,
we're going to take everything that isn't nailed down.
Let's leave the bodies where they lie, and instead rob this man of everything that he was once worth in life. I think that is a much more morally correct thing to do.
So
Except for the
3
bones.
piles
We're
of
taking the
bones. We have an orb.
Yes.
What else? A
There are
chest for our
tapestries
sake.
on the walls and paintings all over the place, and there's an entire museum full of crazy shit that we could probably sell off to the highest bidder.
So DM, we would like to take everything that isn't nailed down and make strength checks to take the stuff that is.
DM, for our purposes, since I think Xander is going to be holding on to the bones, how many quantized skeletons worth of bones can we get?
I'm gonna put this all in loot.
Okay.
Also, somebody make me an investigation check.
I will.
I'm going to give you guidance.
I will help
Yeah,
you.
you will. Okay. Whenever I go to make a roll now, I go to my DM with Abre, and then I remember, and then I reopen the chat to make it in the chat.
That's already quite good. That's even better.
It's a 20. Scene director.
Give me 1 second.
What the fuck?
Yeah, Keeper, are we,
No, stop. We're not playing
Yes.
any of those games.
hey, storyteller, do we find anything cool?
Great. 100 GP going in the party funds.
Let's go.
We are up to 975 gold, 3 silver, and 8 copper.
A silver, very polished great sword. Two scrolls to speak with dead. Holy fucking Luya.
Okay, sorry. I muted while I typed all of that in, so that way the typing wouldn't be heard in the recording.
The tippy tapping.
Tippy tapping.
Silver, very polished greatsword. Oh baby.
Yeah. We're gonna hit all of this with a fat identify.
Everything else, let's just leave in here, and we're going to go deliver our report, and someone else can take care of it.
Are there any pens?
Yeah, there are several ink pens.
I'm taking all of them.
Okay, you get 10 of them.
I get
Wow.
10 ink pens.
I need to get a shield that I can use without using hands, so that I can use a greatsword and a shield at the same time.
Those exist?
Yeah,
No,
it's an
no.
item called the animated
No, but I
shield.
want Chance. No, but I want Chas to make one up.
No, that exists. That
It
exists.
does?
Yeah,
Yeah.
animated shield.
Oh, no way.
Pretty sure
Yeah.
it's attunement, but what isn't in 5e?
All of these weapons that I have.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
No,
weapons are never attunement like everything else is. Well,
Yeah.
artifact weapons
A
are
lot of
attunement, but
weapons.
I was gonna say there's some attunement weapons, just none of the ones in my golf bag.
yeah, most of them are either cursed or artifact. So
None of the ones that Chas gives out.
Because why the hell would a weapon be less of a weapon if I didn't think about using it?
we try not to think too hard about what attunement means.
I mean,
Great.
wizards didn't, so why should we?
Man. We grab all the stuff. We grab some bones. We toss them into the... what do you have, a bottle? No, you have a ring. Toss them into the ring. We say our goodbyes to
Is that lady's
all the
harp still
bodies.
here?
Yes, the harp is still there.
I'm taking the harp.
Is this like a full, like, big-ass harp, sit-down harp?
Yes.
Yeah,
All right.
Oh man,
it's going in my vessel.
big
That's going to make us so much money. That's going to be worth like 4,000 gold. That's the real pay to hear the harp.
True.
I mean, hey, it stayed in tune for however many years. Great. Once we get outside, we will make our way back to the tavern with all of our crap. And then Mr. Phage will identify everything.
Ooh, I also really want to go with Layman's tiny hut. Big fan of sleeping tent.
Tiny hut has saved my ass like a lot of times.
I want a gun.
Well, we can go to Gun Guy wherever that. Where
need
was
to-
that?
We need to find the moldering corpse of Gun Guy first.
It's only been 30 years. There's no way he's that broken up
17?
or whatever.
No,
17, sorry.
That guy did not last a day. That guy walked outside and shot himself in the head on accident. That dude sucked.
Wait, how many years has it been?
17?
That's it?
Yes. Maybe 16 since then. It's 17 years since the start of Journey.
Oh, man.
15 years after the end of Journey, and we traveled for 2 years.
So sad that nobody else knows who Gun Guy is.
I know.
Oh, yeah. Damn.
I thought it was longer than that for some reason.
Yeah, you know, hey, everyone listening at home, have you ever seen that one video of the gun instructor that shoots off his own finger while showing off gun safety? That's Gun Guy.
Horrifying.
My mind immediately goes to the instructor that shot himself in the foot and then put the gun down on the table and then limped out of the room without saying a word.
Yeah, this guy did blow up his own hand, didn't he?
Mhm.
Like he shot himself in the foot and he went, oh!
He
And then he
Captain
put the gun
Hammered
down and he
himself.
limped out.
I hold high caliber pistol with 2 hands for. It increases accuracy for fear of shooting off fingers. So far, only lose 2.
Yeah. Gun Guy decided to test the world's first gun on stage at a science festival, and it was his first time using live ammunition, and it blew up. We screamed.
Nah,
I
Winfrey was
screamed, we
hype.
all screamed for Gun Guy.
Winfrey was like, holy shit, an implement of destruction that explodes? I want one.
And Mickey yelled, "He's got a gun!"
He's got a gun.
Man, y'all just reminded me of that chariot race that we did. I hope
Oh
there's
my
more
God.
blood sports in this campaign.
I hope not. That was such a fucking wild thing we did.
Let's play like soccer or something.
That was
Like
incredible.
bombs.
Let's play
There's a-
soccer or something.
Let's mow down a
Trivia
bunch
night.
of people for the cheering crowds. Referee's fucking having an aneurysm.
Joe would destroy at American football.
I mean, you're an Oath of Glory paladin. You would destroy at any sport. That's the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Let's get Joe
Sports
in
are an
American
athletics
Ninja
check.
Warrior.
Your subclass was made based around Olympic athletes.
Yeah.
Also, I just
Oh my
realized,
god, we got stuff and loot.
I just realized something. in my notes. This sword is not a sword, it's actually a glaive.
Oh.
How dare you?
Ooh. Oh. Hey, could it be a billhook instead? Oh, fucking, if it's not a billhook, Lysel's not allowed to use it.
Okay.
I think
know
you
it
should
sounds
still
like-
use it.
I know it
I
sounds
mean-
like I'm being unreasonable right now. I'll leave. I'll leave the server.
I think you're being slightly unreasonable, but not entirely.
No,
I'm
you
just
don't.
saying,
Minnow,
I'm
you don't
hanging
get
on
it.
by a fucking thread
Minnow.
here, you guys.
I was
Minnow,
kind of excited
you
at the
don't get it.
prospect of another great
Yeah.
sword.
Yeah, please, Al.
You don't get it. Lysel, when they pick up a glaive and make it their Reaper weapon, it turns into a billhook.
Wait, you can do that? Make something else your repo?
Just say
Fucking
yes.
why not?
If that's not the case, just say yes. I need this.
Yeah, you can change what weapon you're holding is your Reaper weapon. It says so.
I did not know that.
It says so in the Reaper weapon feature. You just can only do it on a long west.
Well,
West.
Along
Well,
west.
I think more specifically, the question was, can I, without mechanically changing anything, cosmetically change my Reaper weapon? And
That being said-
it still has the same stats and everything.
That being said, a glaive is still pretty sexy. So that's fine.
Does anybody really, really, really want a raven?
I think someone without familiar should have it.
I think we should give it to fucking. I think we should give it to Viv. I just want.
Viv?
I just,
Viv has a
I just
weasel.
want to put. I want to put as many tiny animals on Vivian as I possibly can before the end of this.
I've already
game.
got
Vivian into a Disney
Honestly,
princess.
yes.
I've already got a lizard.
You're gonna look like
God.
Radagast by the time we're done.
It's not a bad for her. What does the brush do? Whenever you paint a word of a minor effect,
Like heat and light.
what if I painted twerk on a wall?
Twerking is not an
that
effect, it is an action.
Sure.
What if I put twerked? 'Cause that is an effect.
That's the past tense of an action.
No, once you twerk something, it is twerked.
It's cool.
That is
I don't think that's what that
You got-
means.
I got a $60,000 education that says it is.
What if
Actually, don't think that's fine. Don't worry about it.
what if I paint on defecation? Will it smell like shit? Better
If he did,
Misconstruing the
better
word
yet,
effect.
Better yet, just paint on shitted with 2D.
I mean,
Holy fuck! Oh my god, I have so much power in my character.
This is
right now.
this is the item that's gonna derail the fucking campaign.
This is the
right
box I'm
here.
holding.
This
This
I'm
is the
just-
box I'm holding of this
I'm
campaign.
just saying. I mean, like technically, you can write the word "stinky" on something, and it will fucking leak.
Yeah,
Let's
because that's an
fucking
effect. See, the
go.
DM knows
Okay.
what they're talking about.
okay, the weird thing is not like
Smells
Oh my
like
easy
God, I
to
love this
define
item.
term.
what
I love this item.
What if we
Heated
just
them
paint on loud and it just starts screaming?
No, I
Oh my
mean,
god!
Red,
yeah,
loud ice cream.
Oh,
It's
I mean, I
screaming.
can't-
You hate it.
I
Holy
can't think
shit!
of why that wouldn't work.
yeah. If you know, if you
Oh my
paint
God.
the word "loud" on something, it will start making a loud noise.
Hey, are there any doors? We went back to the tavern, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Johnny's gonna go up to the door of his inn and paint the word "open" on it.
Yeah.
What happens?
I think opening something is not minor. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
An open is like a door can be open as it can be stinky. The open
Oh,
door,
yeah.
the stinky door.
Thaumaturgy can
Johnny-
blow open every single door in a room, and that's a cantrip, so
Oh,
I'd
I
say
have
it's pretty
to-
minor.
I have to.
Johnny
I have to put
closes the
something.
door.
Okay.
Oh no, no, no!
No,
I
hold on,
heard
Nerf it,
hold on,
nerf
hold on,
it,
I'm not
nerf
nerfing it. I'm
Nerf.
putting a time limit on it.
They're
Ever
using
yet?
problem-solving card text.
Every single door we see, we just write unlocked on it.
Yeah, so Johnny, hold on, hold on. Johnny paints the word "open" on the door. What happens?
oh no! Better yet, we unlock the doors first, and then paint duck on the lock.
Every chest
DM?
we see, we just write disarmed.
Not a mimic.
No more traps.
It's
We're
not.
working on that,
It's not. It's not powerful enough to disarm a trap. It has to
But
be
if I
very
painted,
Minor.
I just painted the word open on the door, what happened?
The word minor is pretty like
Ambiguous.
No. Explicitly stated.
Okay, the word minor is up to interpretation at all times.
Begging you. Please resolve my action. I need it.
I keep hearing other things before I answer.
He's gonna start screaming.
Are you? If you write the effect open, like if it's on a closed door, the door will just slightly pop open unless it's locked.
Oh, okay. I lock the door and write open on it.
The knob on the door turns. Because it is locked, nothing happens.
Okay, I try to close the open door.
Yeah, if you hit if you write close on it, the door will close.
I'm trying to physically close the door that has the word open written on it.
You're just turning that door into Chassis door, like the slightest push and it just fucking opens. You don't even have to turn the knob or anything.
But hold on, if I try to close the door that has open written on it, what happens? By the way, the whole party is here. Johnny made the entire party come up to watch this.
Vivian's taking notes.
If the door is already closed, like that effect has already happened, so nothing happens.
Can
But the door's open.
Realm
I'm trying to
Energy
close it.
open the door.
Yeah.
So you are writing
Door-
close on an opened door.
Not
No,
right.
I'm not
just
writing
closing
closed.
it.
I'm putting
The
my
word
hand on the
open
door.
is the word open is written on the door, causing it to open. He is trying to force it closed now that it has been magically opened.
Does it close?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, if you write an effect on the same object, it can overwrite itself.
No, he's not writing.
He's not writing anything. He is pushing the door closed.
Oh, I thought he said that
action, please.
I thought he said that he painted closed on it. Yeah, you closed the door.
Oh, well, then there's a closed door with open written on it.
Yeah, it
Is
doesn't.
it just
Yeah,
not that strong?
it's at a minor effect. If you do something that outright negates the effect that you put on it, then you negate the effect that you put on it. It's not. It doesn't make it. It doesn't make it an immovable object.
Wait, hold on.
The word minor is so intentionally written there.
Does it make it into like how your door is?
No, it
Never
doesn't
truly
break
closed?
the fucking door.
Okay, I just want to throw out there, because I hear Joey, this is the most subjective magic item I've ever seen in my life.
It's so funny
And,
because
we cannot say like, oh my gosh, it says minor. I get it. This is the most subjective magic item I have ever seen in my life, which is fine. It just means that, like, is there a time limit, or it's like if we say
There's a time
if we
limit,
write
turn
open
there.
on it, is it? I missed it.
8 hours.
No, the
So the
thing,
door-
the thing is that it's like if it's something that would very clearly negate the thing that you did on it, like if you put heat on a stone and then not heat on a stone, if you put, I'm trying to think of something that negates itself, if you put warmed on something and then submerge it in ice, like that item is going to start cooling off. But if you do not do anything that will immediately negate it, that effect will remain for 8 hours.
So
Okay, but like,
it makes it the
question is-
effect. Doesn't do anything further, doesn't keep it as the effect.
Yeah,
Is that true?
Yeah, I'm sorry to make it more clear. I have used this item before, but when I gave it to the person, they had it for like 1 session.
I mean, in your defense, it is nearly impossible to make this any more clear than you have. This is just going to be something that we're going to have to talk about each time.
I am curious though, because say if you write light on a stone, for example, it'll make it glow as a light source. How
Or will it
intense
make
is
it light as a feather?
Hey, chill out.
What?
I
Like,
mean, no, Joe's right.
What level of bright light and dim light will it shed? Because I feel like that is going to be a very... Like, it feels like that, like one of the main like intended uses for this.
I'm gonna start doing an effect list just to get all of this really clear.
Okay,
so if I write glowing,
go into Python and code this goddamn item.
Johnny writes the word glowing on gelatin skin. What happens?
My skin's not exposed. You can't do that.
on his armor.
That's better. That's better.
It glows bright for 20 feet and dim for another 20.
That's working.
Okay. Johnny writes the word beautiful on Xander's skin, and nothing happens.
True.
Am I crazy, or didn't someone state that it only works on objects?
No, it's surfaces. Any surface.
Wait. Groove. Try painting mirror onto that door.
Johnny's gonna paint the word mirror onto his own skin.
You wouldn't be able to write mirror. You would have to write reflective because mirror is an object. Reflective is an
Shut up.
Yeah, fair enough.
adjective.
He writes reflective on his own. It's just like an infinite brush too. Like, can I just write with it? Just make sure, be very careful not to use any adjectives.
Oh yeah, it does always seem like it's not something where like if you flick it, it'll spray paint everywhere. But when you go to use it for its intended purpose, not person, it does seem to like it's freshly dipped in paint.
Okay. What does the word reflective do to Johnny's skin?
Do you write it like on your forearm?
Yeah, or he'll write the word mirror like.
The top part of your forearm, it has like, it kind of looks like a glaze covers it, and you can see your reflection of your face looking down at your arm.
Oh, that's actually really cool. We could definitely use that during like stealth missions and shit.
Oh my god.
Bro.
Don't make yourself translucent. Light will bend through you and you won't be able to see.
Johnny writes the word invisible onto his familiar. What happens?
You can still see it, but it is like slightly obfuscated.
So it's like camouflage.
Active camo.
So you're gonna have to write that so many times over your own skin to be able to do it.
No, well,
fine.
I think it overwrites it.
We need to go outside and write invisible on the building and see how much.
Oh fuck!
What's the
Imagine
surface
just
area?
like the stone do it on.
The surface area coverage of the fucking words.
No, like this is important stuff. We have to. We gotta know this.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
You're right, Johnny. Is there like a tavern keeper here? Johnny's gonna say, "Do you mind if we try to make your building invisible for 8 hours?"
But then nobody would see it. It's bad for business.
The individual behind the counter is different than the first person you saw, and he just blinks. He's like a gnome, and he's like standing on something. He goes, "No, don't do that."
Xander's gonna slide him a gold piece. How about now?
No.
Just write it on the damn table. The table is like.
Xander's gonna slide him another gold piece. How about now?
Oh my god.
Stop trying to bribe me. If this building turns invisible, I'm gonna get fired, or the guards are gonna end up here and disturb our guests.
Johnny
it only
puts in
lasts
2 of
8
his own
hours.
gold pieces. There's now 4 on the table.
8 hours? That's 8 hours of business.
Don't
Johnny
worry,
puts
it
another
won't be
gold piece
all
on the
of
table.
building.
I mean, at some point we're going to be paying you more than what you would have earned from normal business.
Is that really how much we want to spend on this?
He just blinks twice and says, "No."
Can we do it in the back?
Why don't we just go to the abandoned tower and try it on that?
Good point. Xander picks up all the gold pieces that we were about to give this guy. You just lost yourself a potential business prospect. Come on, Johnny.
More like
Let's go.
prospect.
Yeah, go to the tower, write the word invisible on it. What happens?
Michael stays at the bar.
Oh, Johnny's going to make a
also
point
staying at the
of like
bar.
writing it very large, like so each brushstroke seems to transcend multiple stones.
The effect extends about to 5 feet.
So like so if he writes this across like 5 feet, then within a 5 feet radius of the word, it'll be an invisible patch.
Not fully invisible, again, similar to your familiar, it is like lightly obfuscated.
What does that mean? Like it's
You can
darker,
still
harder to see?
you can still clearly tell that something is there, but it's like
Is it lightly obscured? Is that what you're trying to say?
yes.
Interesting.
Like and like similar like someone said like active camo, that is kind of the vibe.
Got it.
Because the magic is not powerful enough to make it invisible, so it's kind of like gives it a hidden in plain sight effect. So if there's bushes or something, it kind of blends in, looks like a chunk of this building, does not look like the rest of it.
Oh. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Heading back. What do we want to do now? Do we need to go turn in the do we want to turn in the quest now or after we do all three? How much more time do we have in the day?
Right by now it'd be about 5 p.m.
Let's get at least one more quest done today before we start turning them in.
Agreed.
What was next on the docket?
The next job that you took was there was a man who had this like weird fucked up hole in his basement.
Oh, yeah. I feel like we have the perfect tool for this.
Yeah.
You're right.
We're so smart. Let's go.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the house.
Vivian gets trebucheted into the sun. Hopefully she comes back.
No.
Johnny writes the word sunproof on her skin.
SPF 9000.
Alright, so
We're gonna go talk to the old man. Ask him what's going on.
yeah, essentially, similarly, it's still quite a bit of a trek into the city. From your tavern, he is about like an hour and a half walk away. And there is sorry, something distracted me. It's about an hour and a half away from the tavern that you're currently staying at, and this you kind of like go into a more residential district, and it's not like rich people territory, but the houses are like a little nicer. You know, having like some of them have like fences out in front. And you see that at the designated address on the job posting, there is a house that is a lot wider than it is tall. It has like darker stone. It's made out of like a darker stone than the kind of like whitish stone that the rest of the buildings are typically made out of. And there's a very nice like vegetable garden out front, and you actually see that there is this older gentleman who actually is cat-like in appearance. Kind of looks like a Black Panther, but his tail appears to be half missing, and he's currently working on his garden, and there's like a little dinosaur standing next to him. Actually, it looks similar, but not the same as that Draco Rex you found in the Bandit Fortress. And it's just kind of, it's like, has a smoother, hardened head and a lot less spikes, and looks a lot smaller than the other ones you saw, and it's just kind of like watching him, like almost thoughtfully.
Dungeon Master, I have a query.
I have an answer.
Does this cat-like individual appear to be more of a Basra or more of a Nekomata?
Oh, this is definitely a Basra. He literally looks like a Black Panther.
Bet. I'm gonna go talk to him. Excuse me, sir.
What?
We hear you have a problem with a hole in your basement. We've come to assist.
Oh, finally! What is the guild good for? Hold on. And you
Well,
see
the
him,
guild
like...
is apparently good for showing you a silver line. And Xander, stretches out his...
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. He,
Prestidigitation, silver sparkles from Xander.
Yeah, he grabs a cane that was, resting beside him, and he, sticks it into the ground and kind of, shakily brings himself to a stand. And he says, "Oh, well, it is pleased to meet you. My name is Barclay Errolson." And, he, walks away from his garden and, steps onto the path that leads up to his house. And he says, "I am so glad that you're here. I've been avoiding being in my own house."
That bad, huh?
Nothing really has happened. I'm just... Well, I don't know what's wrong with it. Come, follow me.
And we follow him.
Yeah, and the inside of his home is very comfortable, because again, not rich, super rich people, Terry, but you could tell that he has worked really hard in this home. You can also tell that, he built it. There's just this, comfortable, homey feeling. You can tell that a lot of the stuff inside of his house that is, homemade as well. There's, his coffee table's made out of, a log, 2 logs cut in half and then, put together. A lot of, knickknacks. There's also, a lot of, hunting trophies and stuff like that. There's, an old cutlass above his fireplace that's, very, very, very old, and you can tell it's been used. And he hobbles inside and says, "Would you like some tea? Coffee? Anything of the sort?"
Perhaps after we've done our initial investigation. We don't want to take any more time within your residence than we must. I'm sure you would like to get back to your normal routine before this situation started.
True. But take these, and he reaches into this, glass bowl on top of his fireplace, and he hands all of you, a wrapped piece of candy.
I still absolutely gobble that down.
Yeah, it is, it's kind of like a taffy, and it tastes like a very, tropical fruit. Like taffy that's, really soft and tastes like tropical fruit. It, makes your mouth water. It is very, very good. That's from my home, you see. It's candy from Veravat, though I haven't been there in quite some time. Alright, down to the basement, and he, kind of hobbles forward with his cane, and he, approaches a door that you can see that he has, barricaded a little bit, and he, moves some of these wood slottings, and then, takes out of, a key ring with a shit ton of keys on it and unlocks the door. And he, looks at you all and just says, "Now, pardon me if I'm very nervous. I have not been down here since I sent out that job request."
Would you like for us to go in first?
He, kind of, raises his shoulders and shimmies to the side. "Well, if you're offering, I won't say no."
Right. Gelwood, my battering ram-shaped friend. If you would be...
I'd like to think I'm a lot more shapes than that, but you do you. What do you need?
Oh, if you would. And he gestures towards the door. If you would be so kind.
Is there, how do I say? any precedent to keeping this door intact after breaking it down? Do you want to keep the shape generally okay? Or?
They don't. You don't need to break down the door. Y'all were just offering to go first into the basement instead of him.
I see.
Xander's mage hand opens the door, so
then yeah, I'll walk down in front and I'll make my way through the door.
Yeah, and he falls behind you, and he is a little slower coming down the stairs. But you see in the basement, it is made out of like a similar, like it's lined with stones with like wooden beams to keep it up. It looks like he's trying to make it into some sort of like lounge of some kind. Like you see that there's like a little sofa. You see that there's like the start workings of like another fireplace where he has to like dig upwards to make room for like where the smoke to go, and you can see that he's like got some like paper to block it off and also some netting to keep anything from falling, like literally in construction. But in the far end of the room where there's like more dirt instead of like flooring of any kind, where you can see where he like stopped doing his work to turn this like area into another room, he points, and there's a disturbance in the dirt where you see a hole is an understatement. It literally looks like the opening to like some sort of like tunnel system. It is big enough to fit a person. And similarly to how the job posting described, it does have this light fog coming up from it. Like there's like a change in temperature. And he kind of walks up and like looks around all cautiously, and he's like, nothing's come out of it in any case, but I hear strange noises. You know, sounds like scuttling or creatures of some kind. Not anything that I recognize. I've never gone in myself. The moment I saw it, I hobbled my old self back upstairs in a hurry, thinking that my house was being tunneled into or something crazy.
That is very wise. Now, I highly recommend that you let us take it from here, as we are used to delving into rather mysterious and unpleasant places.
Alright.
And if you hear screaming, you will know that coming down here was a bad idea, and you will do with that what you will.
Yeah, he nods and he says, now, I'm gonna go back upstairs, and I am gonna lock the basement door again, but I'll have my little companion by the door, and if you start a-knocking, he'll know to come retrieve me.
Very well. Now, shall we? Xander says to his companion.
I think Lysel's just kind of like leaning over the hole looking in.
Yeah, it is a little steep. Not impossible to walk down, but it'll kind of be more of like a crawl or a slide at first. But you can, sorry, I feel like I'm about to sneeze. I did!
Listen, you were right.
Lysel, make me a survival check real quick.
Now, I just want to clarify something real quick. Initially, it was said that this is a hole, and I was led to believe that it's like a kind of a straight up and down thing. Is it more of like a tunnel that's at a slant?
Yeah, it is more slanted. Like, it's a very steep slant. It's almost like directly up and down, but it is slanted a little bit.
So it's a fun slide.
Sure.
Yeah, that will make that survival check.
If you guys want, I can go first. I have a fly speed.
I'm going to use the soul point to re-roll that because I don't like rolling low. And then we're going to get a 23.
Yeah, there's a few things that you notice. For one, it doesn't look like this was like a dug tunnel, if that makes sense. It doesn't look like someone tunneled upwards and then dug into the floor of this area, it actually looks like there was some sort of collapse.
Doug doesn't fit at all, no. I think it's more of a Tony.
Yeah.
You want to send Xander into it?
Yeah. I'm gonna take a 50-foot rope. I'm gonna tie one end to myself. I'm gonna give the other end to Gelwood. And I'm just gonna fucking hop in Scooby-Doo style.
Alright.
See where the fucking tunnel goes.
Wait,
Yeah.
Xander.
Yes, Johnny?
Johnny writes the word glowing on his shoulder.
Ah, you want me to attract predators? I like it. I'm the world's biggest fishing lure.
Yeah. If you need to suppress yourself, you merely cover your shoulder with your jacket, and you will only slightly glow.
You and I both know, my friend, that I'm terrible at suppressing myself in any regard. And then he jumps down the hole.
It's, well, we see a light becoming increasingly more distant.
Yeah, you start to go down into this tunnel, Xander, and it is deceptively long. You do note that the kind of like fog coming through is not very, it's not harmful in any way. But
That would be bad.
yeah, it's more of like a direct change in temperature type of thing. Because it does get, even though it is winter right now in Kelmra, the difference in temperature between inside of this hole and outside of it is that it is incredibly cold down here.
Sick.
You know? And it was very warm, you know, in this guy's basement, you know, with the fire going upstairs and other ways that he has made it to keep warm. The shift in temperature seemed to be what created the fog, and the tunnel starts to get tighter the further down you go. Not enough to where it, like, you have to squeeze, but very, very close, you know? Instead of being a more open space, you do find yourself maybe having to shrug your shoulders a little bit. And finally, very suddenly, and you said that you were tied to a rope, right?
Yeah, 50-foot rope.
Yeah, very suddenly, you see the tunnel opens up a lot more. And if you, for one, didn't have a fly speed, and for two, were not tied to a rope, you would have just suddenly, like, fell. And you see that there is a just opening into a very, very large cavern. I mean, when I say large, I mean a little over 100 feet in any direction. Except for down. There is a 60-foot drop beneath you.
60-foot drop, you say?
Yes.
I'm going to take a python, nail it into the ceiling here, feed the rope through it, tie it off, taking it off of me, obviously. And then I'm just gonna, because I haven't activated my fly speed yet, timed thing. I'm just going to make my way back through. I'm immune to difficult terrain, so Xander finds it quite easy. Come back up. He's going to let the peeps know what is going on. We're going to tie the other end of the 50-foot rope up here, so basically the rest of the lads can use it as like a guide, or, if we stumble across another series of tunnels, it'll also serve as a marker. To grab somebody else's 50 feet of rope, go back down, tie it off into the same location that I, tied my end of the other rope, and then have it dangling down, so climbing down the rope, it's only a 10-foot drop instead of a 60-foot drop. I'm going to use my fly speed to get down.
Yeah, and when you get down, I would like you to make me a perception check.
Perception. I have light, so I'm not at disadvantage. And that is going to be... can I guide myself too?
Yeah.
Do I have to do that? Okay, cool. That is going to be 16.
Yeah, you look around and it is still... Oh no, you said you had a light source. So you see that the area underneath here seems to be like connected to some type of cave system. You do notice that the tunnel itself is not necessarily like, you can tell at some point something must have burrowed in some way. It would have to be something that can fly or is really, really big though. And it seems like the area in the surface must have collapsed and basically connected the topmost to a part of this tunnel that was going up. And the area that you're in looks very, very strange. There are these there are these like stones that are growing out of the walls that are like crystalline, like precious stones. And you also see that there are a lot of mushrooms.
Quiz maybe when you need it.
Literally looks like the start of an entirely different ecosystem.
Going down this far, have I seen what triggered the collapse?
Make me an investigation check.
I'm good at those. Well, relatively. Not as good as Johnny. Ooh, that's a natural 19. That's 25.
Yeah, you kind of like look around the area, maybe climb back up the rope or fly back up if you really want to like look at the change. And you look around near the exit of the hole on the ground or up in the air, and you notice that not far from where you emerged, there's like a big pile of like rocks, and one of the giant mushrooms that you've seen is like knocked over, and it looks like something must have caused some sort of collapse within this cave, and maybe the shock of it caused the upper part of that tunnel to collapse in on itself.
Okay. So I guess the question is now, because like we were asked to come investigate the hole, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like see what caused. So we have an answer for that.
Sorry, one second. Another thing, though. I'm sorry, I was getting my notes.
Like insofar as I've seen so far, this guy doesn't need adventurers, he needs a fucking landscaper or like a contract, you know what I mean? And like 50 dudes with shovels.
Or one man with a really big shovel.
That could work too.
You mean Yellowwood?
I don't know if I can pick up a shovel that big.
Don't take me wrong. I absolutely want to explore this tunnel system at some point, but we're also kind of on time here. Xander will report his findings to the rest of the group, along with whatever else that Chas is looking up and about to tell me.
Yeah, there is one more thing. I just had to pull out my notes in order to get it. I also have to check one more thing. Okay. Yeah. There was another detail of the collapse that I wanted to just look at my notes about. There is, one more thing. Near where the, like, big pile of, like, rocks and fallen debris is, you also see that, much, much bigger than the one that you came from, there is a hole in the ground near this collapsed rubble.
There's a hole in the ground by the collapsed rubble underneath the hole in the ground.
Yes.
Does that one appear to be dug out?
Yes. Going off of your previous investigation, yes.
How deep is it?
goes maybe about 30 feet down. You have a light source, you'd be able to see this. And then kind of like immediately starts going like sideways and it goes west. Like it goes down for like 30 feet and then like evens out and going in like another direction.
How big is the tunnel? Is it circular?
It is. It has about like a 15-foot radius.
Can I tell by what implement was used to dig out, this tunnel?
Make me a survival check.
I'm also at this point going to say that Xander would have grabbed everyone. I don't know if you heard what I said earlier, but, reporting to them. And
in that case, could Lysel either make the check or help Xander make this check?
You could... yeah, you can give Xander help or you can make the check yourself. Sorry, I would have asked someone else to make it, but I didn't know if this was a thing where y'all got called down afterwards. My bad.
I'll make it.
I'm going to give you guidance.
That's a natural 20. If I can roll my dice in here. That's going to be a total of 28.
Yeah, Lysel, after you all kind of make it down here, and you all see the same things as well, that there's just this sudden shift in scenery where it literally looks like a completely different ecosystem. And Lysel, you look at this hole, and it does look like a burrow. It looks like a creature tunneled into the ground. You can tell by sort of the shape and how it's like not fully even. That it's definitely not something like made by magic or made by like a more skilled, it's not made with tools, and by the nature of like the disturbed rock and rubble and dirt around it, that this was definitely made by a larger creature.
You said it was 15 feet around?
Repeat the question, sorry, I heard two things at the same time.
And you said it was 15 feet around? I'm just making sure we have all our facts right.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, Dakota, what were you going to say?
If I didn't know any better, I would say some variety of large creature made this hole, tunneling its way through and doing whatever it was doing.
Shall we go take a look? Say hi?
Sounds like a fine time to me.
Right. Yeah. DM, we're going to go check it out.
You're gonna go into the burrow?
Yeah, why not?
Sick. I was just making sure.
EPK. EPK.
Bruh.
It's a baby purple worm.
It's a baby grass.
Can we, make it our pet and raise it to be our purple worm?
It is the last remaining Earth incarnation in all of Teosia, and it just swallows us whole.
Y'all are silly.
I mean, I'm just saying. Cass said that a creature made the burrow. Did not say that the whole creature went through the burrow.
Yeah, when you start walking along, it only seems to go in one direction, and you see that there are again, fallen geodes on the ground and stuff like that in its wake that you could tell was in place before it burrowed through. And again, really, really cold down here.
DM, what kind of geodes?
You see one that's like an amethyst, and then ones that's like this, blue, bluish tinted quartz. Those two seem to be repeated a lot in this area.
Would any of us have any prior geological knowledge that could explain if that was weird or not? Because here, let me give you my logic before you answer the question, right? So crystal lizards are a thing in Petra. It's something that Xander has quite a lot of familiarity with. Is these creatures that are made of crystalline structures, and thus spit out crystalline structures that I imagine, at least in my brain, you tell me if I'm wrong, would look very similar to geodes. You feel me?
Kinda, yeah.
So, my question is, do these appear to be naturally occurring? I guess.
Yes. They do. But, I guess geode is a bad word. It just kind of looks like the, crystals or gems in their, like, rawest form that have been knocked from whatever they were,
Oh, so these aren't geos, they're just clusters of crystals that have been
Yes.
uprooted. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
sorry,
okay,
that's
okay,
my
okay.
bad for not having a better word.
Said this.
Pop at the
and what else?
crystals.
Yeah,
You said
so
it was
this
amethyst, and what was the other one?
like a teal quartz, and this is like raw gemstone, so it has not been
that tracks.
polished or minted in any way.
That tracks. So we have amethyst and quartz. Okay. Teal quartz. That's interesting. You said it's cold down here.
Yes, very.
Makes sense, we're underground.
Teal could signify methane. It's interesting. Anyway. Sorry. I'm being a nerd. Yeah, we're going. I wanna fucking see what did this. So curious. I'm excited. Exciting.
Yeah. And asking mainly just out of curiosity so that I know how to go forward, are you all moving stealthily in any way or just going?
Yo, Sandra's going full speed ahead.
Alright. I would like Lottie Dottie everybody to make me a perception check.
Sure. Guidos.
Perception.
That's a 19 for me. Oh, let me put it in the chat. I'm so sorry. I'm so
I need
excited.
to find it. 19.
Dakota, you fucker.
21, 17,
Talk to
19.
my wife. Thank you.
I know, but you got the same thing I did.
Alright. So 21, 17, 19, 19, 11. Alright, so pretty much everyone except for Emiko, you all hear like the sound of disturbed earth, like the sound up ahead of something being like dug into, like, but it is very, very loud.
One quick caveat, real quick, DM. Could I cast Speak with Animals on my way down here? Because so far, this seems to be like a beast.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. And, you feel the earth, start to tremble underneath your feet. And you see some of the, like, those, like, little bits of dirt falling down from up above you, creating, like, little clouds of dirt as it starts to, more intensely, shake. Also, at this point, you've been walking for, like, you know, maybe about 10-ish minutes.
Okay, so my fly is down.
Your what is down?
My fly is down.
Okay.
I see.
The effect that gives me a fly speed, not my zipper.
Sandra was like, whatever.
To be fair, you should check that too.
Oh, Sandra, your fly is down.
And so far, like the way you've been going has been like a complete straight shot of just a 15 by 15 just circular-ish, not perfect tunnel. And you, from your right-hand side, you see more of the dirt and more of the rocks and more of the crystals start to rumble and shake. And you see from your right side, maybe about 20-ish feet ahead of you, this wall of dirt just suddenly burst forward and collapse in on itself. The shaking is suddenly a lot worse, and you see the maw of a creature, like, peek its way through, and it's like growling, and you see these very large claws, like digging through and poking forward. And
Is it a mole?
What was that?
Is it a mole?
No, it has
Oh.
a chitinous shell around it.
Oh. I don't like this anymore.
Oh, this is a bad idea.
bug
I have like no room to fight it.
No, that's fine. We'll just beat the shit out of it.
And it looks like this.
Is it a...
Pull on the rope.
Oh no.
What is that gonna
What the
do?
fuck is that?
It's a Bullete.
Yeah, it
Another
is.
campaign. I almost got TPK'd by one of these.
Oh, can I jump in his mouth?
Please do not.
There's a game for the original Xbox where you have to lure this thing into a bunch of jagged ass crystals and then beat the shit out of it.
Xander's gonna talk to it. He's gonna say, "Why there? We were just coming to check out your fine tunnels and see what was causing it. I turned into jail with it."
So,
Does it respond?
We should
British
try the
accent?
quality before we kill it.
I have a
True.
question. Does speak with animals specifically specify you speak to beasts?
Yeah.
Because that's so funny, because bullets are monstrosities. I would like everyone
Hey,
to roll
you know what?
initiative.
You know what?
Oh, no.
We're owl bears, and Lyrian let me do it to an owl bear. So
To be
whatever,
fair-
dude.
To be fair, I'd let you do it to an owlbear too.
People are trying to humanize owlbears, that's why.
Man, okay, I get it. So, like, you know, creatures, we can only do diplomatic things with creatures if they're... Okay, that's... I just want to point out the blatant aestheticism here. But that's fine, you know.
Aestheticism.
How long has it been since we started our day?
With certain prejudice.
How long has it been since you started your, like, the whole day?
Yeah, the adventure day.
It's about, like...
How long since we ended our long rest, I should say?
I would assume y'all woke
For the
up
purposes
at...
of Goa.
You would be on the last hour of it, so Goa would be up. Y'all been
Great.
up for almost 8 hours.
My date. I dropped my date.
Not fantastic.
Oh, great. Y'all, that D8 makes such a big fucking difference. Holy.
Hold on, I'm eating rice.
You're a rice.
I am very white, thank you.
Wow, you gotta be white. Kind of fucked up, man.
Yeah, sorry, I was born this way.
I mean, really, you should... Oh, also, Dakota 1, me 0.
Oops.
Oh,
The curse
Oops.
continues, lads. Hey, Shark. I just want you to know, if I die, coming back.
You're coming back
So,
as a
like-
what?
A bard.
Oh, cool.
remember, if Jay dies, you have to deal with a French guy.
Remember to... You know, Joey, that is a really good deterrent of keeping me from killing you. I hope you know. It's a really good deterrent of keeping me from killing you.
Dude, transatlantic to French is such a downgrade, bro.
True!
And to if anybody listening, either, you know, like, whenever in the future, if you're French, like, I'm not sorry, and I'll never be sorry.
If you're transatlantic, we're not sorry either.
Also, you can't be because that's not a thing anymore. Unless
Yeah,
they,
really, Joey?
unless there's
Oh.
unless there's something geographically speaking that I'm just fucking terrible with.
No,
What is
no.
it?
Thanks for letting me know. Wow.
Hey, DM,
Me?
is this little teal grid you got going on over here? Is this our battle map?
Yeah, I didn't think we'd get to this today.
Hey, can you do me a huge solid, my dear friend, Peter
What?
Cheddar?
What?
Can you make this literally any other color? Because I cannot fucking see this.
Make it neon green. Make it white and yellow.
I just can't.
Yeah,
I can't.
Unless you're from the late 19th or mid 20th century, you are not transatlantic anymore. I'm sorry. They made a
really?
rule. Yeah, it says it right here.
No, good for them. They
I had
finished.
no idea.
Yeah.
Crazy.
They just call that shit mid-Atlantic now. Or not mid-Atlantic, they call it... I'm off the page. I don't care anymore.
Imagine
it's not real.
Mid. Can't be me.
2! Fuck!
You know, I blame myself for this. I should have been more specific, but it's fine. I'm going to deal with it.
You said make it any other color.
Yep. You know, I think I just.
Did you make it yellow?
So I
gave it
made
next
it,
position.
I made it neon green.
Oh my god.
The world is conspiring against me, and I am but a ferret.
Jesus.
No, I'm not Jesus. I'm a ferret.
That wasn't directed towards you.
It really sounded like it was.
Jesus.
And you know what? You need to fucking... The stuff that is directed towards me needs to fucking have your attitude cleaned up a little bit there, sir. I don't know who you talking to like that, but it sure is fucking me.
I'm talking to my rice.
You know, I don't
Did
give
you
a
see
shit.
Jesus' face in the rice?
Bullets...
Where's Minnow?
Bullets are cute.
They are
I do
cute.
not care. This is
But no
just
one
like an
actually got
armored... This is an armored toad, you know? Like, this is great.
Land shark.
No, it is a land shark. You're absolutely right. Also,
Land shark
hey,
is that
not
thing that they were trying to kill in Blue Dragon.
Not to put a finer point on it, I'm in front of everyone.
Okay.
That's fine.
I was leading this expedition.
Alright. Alright.
He's gonna hit the kill plane.
Johnny, it is your turn.
Just have them make me an intelligence saving throw. DC is 17.
Okie dokie.
Bullets, I don't think can make that. That's really high.
I got a 12.
Oh no.
Fail. He is going to take 10 psychic damage. And he cannot use a reaction until the end of his next turn. On his next turn, he must choose whether he gets a move, an action, or a bonus action. He only gets one.
And if he takes the attack action, he only gets one attack. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, and Johnny would have used his bonus action to wake up. End of turn. I'm going to back up 30 feet. End of turn.
Alright. Jay, it is your turn.
Oh yeah. First things first, warding bond on Emiko.
Is that
That's gonna be
Tamechi?
What?
Is that Tamechi?
No, that's the thing that makes a share damage.
Okay.
And it gives you an extra point to your armor class and saving throws.
Right.
Also, it's not protection, which means I'm also going to cast Shield of Faith, and I think I'm going to do that to myself before moving 5, 10, 15, 20.
Hey, buddy.
What?
Shield of Faith and Warding Bond are, you can't cast them both in the same turn, unfortunately. This is true.
Leveled spells.
Oh, right. I literally don't have cantrips, so that's fucking bullshit, but you're absolutely correct. 5, 10, 15.
My dude, you hit people really hard with your sword. You're not a spell slinger.
25. The thing that I keep getting confused is that if you have action surge, you can cast 2 leveled spells both as actions,
Yeah.
but not if one is a bonus action. It's the thing I always forget.
We forgive you.
For now.
Okay, whatever. Warding bond is fine anyways. I'm going to keep the warding bond up, and then I'm just going to walk up to this thing. And as a bonus action, Cloak of Billowing, I guess, because that's all it's good for.
Alright. Anything else for your turn, Jay?
Nope.
Does this creature seem to have functioning eyes?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. They have little eyes right there on the picture.
Yeah, but just because they have eyes don't mean they, like, use them. You feel me? Like, bats have eyes, too, but
Yeah.
mainly use echolocation.
Yeah, but bats can still see pretty well. The term blind as a bat is a misnomer.
Oh, fair enough.
You could just be, like, blind otherwise, for another reason.
Yeah, no, the creature is not blind. But it is gonna do something.
Gotta come chomp Xander.
No, try.
Real quick. Reading this ability again.
What I'm trying to figure out for the purpose of my fellow players is if Major Image will have any effect here.
Oh, because of like tremor sense or something.
Well, Tremor Sense should only work if we're moving around. And that's up to DM interpretation, I guess, but that's how I typically rule it. But if it's got like blind sense, then fucking nothing does nothing.
It has tremor sense.
Oh shit.
Well, fucking, I know that. Most burrowing creatures do, if not all of them. I was more wondering if, basically, if I were to heavily obscure the hallway that we're in with Major Image, and then tell my teammates it's an illusion so they can see through it just fine, would we get advantage on the creature, and would it have disadvantage on it?
This will get an attack of opportunity from Jay, but it's gonna yump.
Where is it?
All right.
It's gonna
I
yump.
thought we were in a tunnel.
What is it using to do this ability? So it cannot use a reaction?
This is its action.
Got it.
I guess 2d4 really just is the best that I've got, unless it's a two-handed weapon. Yeah. 22 to hit with Akios' art.
That does hit.
Alright. This is going to be 11 radiant damage.
Dunka. I need... Sorry, I also forgot this was a large creature, so I was reading this ability and it made no fucking sense. But then I realized it's a large creature, so it makes total sense. I need Xander and Lysel to make me a...
Dexterity.
Strength save?
When an ability says strength or dexterity, does that mean the player chooses, or does that mean I choose? I've never seen an ability written that way.
Based on the precedent of the shove and grapple actions, it is the defender's choice.
Okay, so I need both of you to make me your choice of a strength or dexterity saving throw.
17.
Myself's gonna try and jump out of the way. I get a 19.
Alright.
Add 3.
Alright.
I add 3. Lysel does not. 10 foot
Lysel's
over.
not quite in range.
Yeah. So that would make it 20 for me.
Alright. So both of you will only take half damage from this, and you will not be knocked prone.
Okay.
But you will be knocked 5 feet back. Okay.
This gonna hurt.
You both succeeded, so it won't be that bad. Alright. So you each take 6 bludgeoning damage and 6 piercing damage for a total of 12.
Bludgeoning is reduced to 3 for me.
Ow.
Yeah. I'm resistant to bludgeoning damage.
Alright, that is the end of the Bullet's turn. Emiko, it is your turn.
What?
It's your turn.
What's your-
I rolled 11. No one else went, did they?
No, the other people have gone.
Yeah.
The only other people that are in initiative, because Minnow's not here, are
Where's Johnny?
Xander and I, who were lowest in
Oh,
initiative.
Johnny's way back.
And then Johnny and JL that already went.
Oh. I fucking zoned out for so long. Okay, so my first attack, I'm gonna use Hands of Harming on it. It's a natural 20. Do I need to separate acid, thunder, or necrotic damage?
Nope.
Okay, so it takes a total of 42 damage.
Ow.
And if it can, it's poisoned.
Alright, let me track that
Real
on
fucking good.
Dude Bro. Bonk.
Okay, and then does the 19 hit?
Yes.
Okay, so it's gonna take a total of 19 damage, and I'm gonna try to stun it with stunning strike. So it needs to make a con save, I think.
Yeah.
Alright, it is pretty good at those. But we will
Did
see.
you have to move up to attack it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just do a little.
Thank you.
Using my new dice that I got.
Oh no.
A 15 to succeed.
Probably pretty good at con saves.
Yeah, that's what they said.
I got an 18.
Okay, yep. Okay. So I'm gonna use my bonus action to Flurry of Blows with another natural 20 and a 24 for 12 damage on the natural 20 and 8 damage on the 24. So if I did my math right, I'm doing 81 damage that turn.
Yeah. Fucking Emiko's insane.
Stunning strike and flurry of blows is a hell of a drug.
Well, maybe I would have hit the stunning strike. And then can I get on top of it at all? Like, I thought this was like a human-sized tunnel, but then it jumps, so like, could I climb on top of it is like the best I can?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Only because you are itty bitty, but yes.
Wait for my turn.
Alright. Lysel, it is your turn.
So Lysel is going to channel the energy into the dolphin amulet to cast haste, getting that glowy, glitzy pattern as usual. I'm just going to do a little sidestep, I think. No, actually, this here is fine, because that way I have both Emiko and Xander within range. We're going to make an attack against it
Roll it.
with my extra action from haste. That is tapped. That is a natural 1. That is deeply unfortunate. We're going to attack it with our bonus action. I don't know if that's going to hit, but I kind of want to specifically hit it. We're going to try and use increased strength to buff my attack to hit. Above a 20 to hit.
Alright, that'll hit.
So for my bonus action attack, let's see here. What was I just That is going to be, and as Lysol strikes it, by the way, one of the souls within their body, specifically the one that looks like that noxious kind of a green color, flies out and starts kind of emanating off of this thing as I use Reaper's Mark.
Ooh!
So it's going to take a grand total of 8, 12, 15, 19 points of damage.
Alright.
And now every time it takes damage, it's going to take an additional 1d8 plus 3 damage. That is my action, bonus action. I don't really want to move, so that'll be it for Lysol's turn.
Alright, Xander, it is your turn.
I'm going to step 5, 10 feet back. And yeah, we're going to hit it with an Eldritch Blast. Actually, we're going to hit it with 2.
Am I going to be rolling the extra damage, or does that go to the player?
That's up to you. I've seen it done either way. Typically, I just tell people, like, add my whatever my effect is whenever I'm playing Reaper.
In that case, yeah, we'll just have Xander roll an additional d8 plus 3 for the first time he deals damage.
Yep, and both of my attacks hit, so I'm just going to give you all the damage altogether.
Works for me.
So that 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Is our proficiency bonus plus 3? Am I stupid?
That is correct.
23. Okay. 23 points of damage between magical bludgeoning and force.
Ouch.
And we're going to push this fucker 5, 10, 15, 25 feet back.
Yeah.
Whee! Emiko fucking wrangling him like a bull.
I kind of forgot you were up there. My bad, fam.
It's okay. Do you have to roll a dex save to stay on, or?
I've never made you do that before, so no.
Okay.
Because you have been...
I also wasn't on a creature that Xander's zapped backwards, so...
I think you've been on a creature that Xander has pushed before.
No, this has not happened before.
Yeah.
You know what? Make me whatever is better for you between an athletics and an acrobatics check.
So acrobat.
Yeah. 15?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Xander pushes the creature and you, like, kind of dig your fingertips underneath some of the, like, chitinous plating on its back as you get pushed and you're like, oh, shit! Okay, I'm good. I'm here. I'm still on it. Kind of looks like when a cat, like, digs its claws into something and arches its back, like, ugh!
Yeah, Xander, who, once again, completely forgot Emiko was up there, just looks up and says, shit. And then I'm going to move 5, 10, 15 feet forward. Did I move 15? Was it 15 back, Dakota? Can you fact check me on that?
I believe you moved it 15 feet back.
Okay, so yeah. And then as Xander is standing there, he's going to just slam his foot into the ground, and the loose dirt beneath him is going to travel up his leg, over his body, and become a concrete shell as I cast Blade Ward as a bonus action.
Real quick one time. If the bullet were to attack Xander, like right in front of him, is that within range for Soul Siphon for Lysol?
I mean, I'm within 10 feet of you, but I don't think the creature would be within 10 feet of you.
No, the creature
So
would be
I
within
will-
15 feet, and then Xander would be within 10.
Hey,
Okay,
Xander,
I'll
can you
put
take a
I'll
step
put
back real
myself
quick?
Yeah, we'll put ourselves here. That's fine. I have no issue with that. And, sorry, DM, that'll be the end of my turn. I apologize.
I think Lysol's gonna like reach out and like pat Xander on the shoulder. I want to keep you safe, buddy.
Alright, Johnny, it is your turn.
I'm gonna use 4 charges from the Wand of Magic Missiles to cast Magic Missile at 4th level. 6 Magic Missiles shoot out at it. It's gonna take 18 damage, and then how much do I need to roll for the mark?
D8 plus 3.
That's only on attacks, right? Or is that any source of damage?
Let's see.
You said whatever.
The first time a marked creature takes damage each turn.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
It's gonna take 6 D8 plus 18. Right?
It's just one. It's just the first time.
Yeah.
It's only 1d8. Doesn't matter how many instances of damage it is.
It's only 1 per turn, too.
Dodge. Okay.
That would be funny as fuck,
take
though.
another 11 damage.
Alright, damage is noted. This thing is starting to look very hurt.
Have them make me a strength saving throw.
Not Gelwood. The bullet. There we go. I got a 23.
Succeeds. Nothing happens. End of turn.
Alright, Jade, it's your turn. This thing left standing next to you and now is back standing next to you.
Yeah, perfect. Let's move 10 feet here just to do it. There we go. And then I'm gonna, as a bonus action, I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith on myself so that I feel justified in using my greatsword right now. I'm gonna use the Mindfuck greatsword on it. 26 and a 25 to hit. That's gonna be for 13 plus 9 points of damage, so 22 points of damage to it. 5 of that is psychic.
Alright. Sorry.
Hit him again! Hit him again!
I already did.
You hit him twice?
Yeah.
Oh.
I rolled really low on those dice. I rolled a 2 and a 3 on one attack, and then a 1 and a 1 on the other attack, so...
Sag.
Yeah.
Wait, don't you have a great weapon fighting style?
No, you're thinking of, late night character.
What fighting style do you have? I know it.
What fighting style do I? I have Tunnel Fighter.
Oh.
For the blind sight, in case I'm fighting somebody and it's completely fucking dark.
Yeah, fair.
Alright, anything else for your turn, Jay?
That was action, bonus action, and I moved 10 feet. I'm good.
Alright, it is now the Bullet's turn, although I have never ever seen the poisoned condition in game before, because most things are resistant to it, so people avoid it. Does that take effect on its turn?
Disadvantage on attack rolls and
Okay.
Disadvantage on ability checks. That's all it does.
Okay, I was just making sure, because literally, don't...
There are other effects that are riders that say while the creature is poisoned this way, X happens at Y time. But
Okay.
in this, it's just the poison condition.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, because I don't think I've ever seen that used in any of our games, because most creatures just resist it, so... This one doesn't, though. So, gonna make an attack at Jay at disadvantage.
Just one?
Gonna bite you. Yeah, they only have one.
It can only make one.
Oh, and to add some dramatic flair, when I pull the greatsword out, I throw the linen off of it by swinging the sword really hard, and it creates this huge giant fabric that flows through the air. If there were any wind, so instead it just drops like a rock.
The bullet rips ass, causing a temporary wind current.
Hell yeah.
Ew. Yeah, even with disadvantage, that is a pretty good roll, but I don't think it's enough to hit. Yeah, no. Unfortunately, that is an 18. So you see this creature now battered and bloodied. You swing at it a few times, and in retaliation, it goes to chomp down. But your armor's too shiny, man. Armor's too shiny. You see there's poise, it's salivating really hard from being poisoned, and it's kind of woozy in place. It can't focus on shit. That is the end of its turn. Emiko, it is your turn.
Emiko is going to start wailing on it from above. She misses the first attack with a natural 1. And you said a 19 hit before, right?
Yes, its AC is 17.
Okay, I'm going to use 2 key points to bump my second one from 15 to 19 and hit with a 25 damage. Then use another key point to flurry of blows.
Ow.
Hit it with a natural 20 on the first one for 8 damage. And then use another key point to bump my 17 up to a 19.
17 hits.
Oh, 17 hits?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And it does 6 damage.
Yeah. Hey, Emiko, tell me how this bullet dies.
I feel like Emiko is just going to after it got knocked back by Xander and she like pulls herself up, she's gonna hit she's gonna slam her fist down in the center of its forehead, and you guys can see kind of like a ripple of like a green, purple, and a black energy ripple through his body as it just falls deceased.
Yeah, and Emiko, when you like smack your final fist into like the back of its head, you see like its chitinous shell like literally crack in two as the creature just suddenly falls deceased.
DM Xander, I would imagine like bullets live where Xander's from, right?
Yeah, you know what a bullet is. They look a little different in Petrus, but you can, like, this one looks similar enough. Like, you can tell it's another subspecies.
Yeah, I think Xander's just gonna walk up to it, kind of like put a hand on its face, and in Terran say, "I'm sorry, my friend."
Fucking Petrus, as in petrified, as in it's fucking stone.
Good job. I'm proud of you.
Fuck.
How thick is this thing's hide? Like its armor. Like, could we like skin this thing and use its chitinous shell? Could like we like have somebody make it into like a natural armor?
Yeah, you can. It's a large creature. You can harvest it to have someone make something out of it.
You just want to take it, the whole thing, into the vessel?
I don't know if I can.
Like a Pokeball. Bullete, return, and it shoots into your ring.
I'm pretty sure the vessel is a 10-foot extra-dimensional space.
you can squeeze it in.
I mean, I guess. DM, would you allow me to do that? Because, like, typically it's only anything that I'm wearing or carrying, and I'm going to go out on a limb here and say I do not have strength score to pick this thing.
No, like, it's okay if, like, because, like, you guys have taken, like, a dinosaur head into there, but you wouldn't be able to fit this whole creature in there.
No, also it's a 20-foot radius cylinder, so 40-foot diameter, 20-foot high.
Oh.
If you're dead set on...
no, we're fine. You can just fit it in.
If you're dead set on keeping the fucking Bullete, I can, like, use my crowbar to pry off all of its giant fucking scales, because I assume that the scales aren't tiny on this thing. I mean, it's made out of, like, sheets of rock, right?
Nah, it's fine. You just give me the help action. I'm going to cast Enhance Ability for Bull Strength on myself, and then I'll put it in.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, I'll just dump it out like an ashtray later. Yeah, I want somebody to make some fucking sick-ass armor out of this thing. I mean, give it to Vivian.
Can Vivian wear armor?
Yeah, druids get,
oh yeah, she gets medium armor proficiency, you're right.
Yeah, and then every time we bring it up, Minnow goes, yeah, whatever, I know, shut up.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, instead of like bulky ass fucking dingy ass like metal armor, we give her a fucking shirt made from Bullete hide, and it looks badass. You know what I mean?
Make her a leather jacket, but it's made out of chitin.
Yeah, something like that. I was thinking more like a Kevlar vest, but that works too.
I was saying that so that way it was like she kept her like dress with a jacket over it aesthetic.
Oh yeah, well, you know, I mean, typically, you know, Kevlar vests like go underneath other thing. So, well, the Kevlar plate itself does, or the ceramic plate for like bulletproof vests.
Goes
Kind
on
of
the
what I was
inside.
thinking. Yeah, or like, you know, if you want a more fantasy-esque reference, fucking Frodo's mithril coat. He got stabbed with a big spear and didn't die.
True.
Although I imagine this thing's Titan is heavier than mithril.
Yeah, a little bit.
By like a lot.
Yeah, a lot of it. Yeah, you know.
I just need a Vivian-shaped swath.
A Vivian-shaped swath. Oh, Jesus.
Gesundheit.
Gesundheit. Oh my god.
Thank you.
Stop dying.
Insect
Bless
Plague could be a very useful spell if your DM allowed you to use it for, like, corpse disposal. Anyway, sorry. Thinking out loud. Yeah, we're gonna harvest as much of this giant well, we're just taking it with us, so we don't even have to worry about that. Yeah, we're taking it with us. Now, I have a question for you, Chad.
I have an answer.
Part of the bottled respite ability says that if I'm inside, I can see out of it basically through like the ceiling and the dome, right?
Uh-huh.
Can other things see inside?
I'd imagine not. I would say like like, I don't know. I would kind of do it as a thing of, like, if you want them to, type thing. Because
So I can allow them to see inside?
Yeah, I'll say that. Like,
Awesome.
if you allow them to see inside. Because then
Badass.
it becomes... Because then
I'm
it
gonna
became...
need proof for that old man that the problem is dealt with.
Yeah. Well, because, like, you know the thing where it's, like, where, like, sometimes, like, you use it for stealthy stuff?
Yeah, for sure.
So-
I totally get it.
Yeah, so if people all the time can see into it, then it'd be like... You know?
I appreciate that ruling very much. We don't have to spend too much time on this because we're getting close to the end of the session, but we're just going to quick check out this tunnel system, make sure there's no other, like, threats or anything that are going to fuck up this dude's house, you know, and make liars out of us when we tell them that, you know, it's all good now.
Maybe look for a nest this thing may have had.
Yeah. I would like anyone who wants to make me your choice of an investigation or a survival check.
Survival?
Don't ask.
I'm gonna give Johnny guidance on survival. Or on
for survival.
$27 investigation.
Would you get on survival?
23.
23. So a 23 and a 27. So, you follow the tunnels, because again, there's only like, it's only really one tunnel. It just kind of like looped around because it sensed y'all and like came out like, bah, fuck you. But essentially, you follow the tunnel a little further and you do find another like opening into another cavern where you kind of have to like climb up into it because the tunnel goes up. And you do find this, an area where this thing had sort of nested. And there's a few interesting things there. For one, there are bones, as in like humanoid bones, like a full skeleton's worth. And you see old gear. It's not really salvageable gear, but it's unique looking. In the sense of like it's armor that is not typically worn, at least not in Farwood, you know. It's of like a design that none of you really recognize. you see like the bullet, like it was a solitary creature. You don't see any like young or anything like that, like no eggs. I don't know if those creatures lay eggs. They look like a creature that would lay eggs. I'm gonna say they lay eggs.
I mean, it's your universe. You tell us.
True. You don't see any like proof of this creature was solitary, essentially. But something of note as you're like looking around this creature's nest. Johnny, you actually see that on the walls there is writing. What languages do you know at base? I know you have a spell that changes that, but just out of curiosity. Can't believe Johnny fucking died.
Sorry, common and I believe abyssal.
Common and abyssal? Yeah. So you don't recognize the language on the wall, but you see that there is writing on the walls, like carving.
And does anybody know what language this is?
Is it primordial?
Do any of you speak Elvish?
I do.
None.
Lysel does.
Yeah, Lysel, you actually recognize this as Elvish writing.
Well, that appears to be Elvish right there.
Yeah,
Why? What does it say?
Yeah. What it says is, sorry, opening my notes. Be wary, topward traveler, for danger is near.
It just says be careful.
And then there's like a bunch of like other symbols that aren't in a particular like they're still Elvish, but they're it's not really like this is a word. But it's basically like symbols that represent like travel and things like that. Make me a history check real quick, Lysel.
Sure, I can try that. That's not a super good roll, so I'm gonna use my last soul point to re-roll.
Also, I have 38 good berries. If you need them, put it in chat.
I rolled lower. I'll take 12 of those good berries. That is a 2.
Yeah. You try to like look at the writing, see if you get anything more out of anything other than that it's Elvish, but you don't discern anything.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
You said it's writing. Is it actual writing, or is it like scratched into a surface?
It's scratched. It's like
Okay,
carved into
I'm
it.
gonna take a charcoal rub. Not just of the symbols, of all of it.
Sweet. Yeah, and one last thing is you do see that like this little nest does connect to like more caverns that are not burrows. Like obviously there is a very deep and long cave system under here. Everywhere you look it seems like it just continues to go on and on, but it's very obvious that the immediate threat to this man and his livelihood was that there was a bullet burrowing and expanding its own nest underneath this man's home.
Thus compromising the structural integrity of the surrounding area and causing his basement to collapse.
Correct.
Interesting. Let's go let him know.
Yeah, and then a few more things. You guys do find a grand total of 10 gold pieces, but they're very old. Because Johnny got like almost a 30 on a fucking investigation check. These gold coins are basically like older money. Like it's still money from Kelmra, but like an older printing. making.
Mint?
Yeah, like it's from an older year, you know, kind of like you find like a dollar bill from the fucking 70s. You know, that kind of thing. It's an older edition of the money.
Cool.
And you find a dagger of elvish make, so it's just a regular dagger, but it looks, you know, it looks different. It's just cooler looking.
Cool. And yeah, we're heading out, yeah?
Yeah, if there's nothing else that you all want to accomplish down here, you can return back from whence you came.
Yeah, we're gonna report to the old man that everything's kosher now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Barclay make a check.
And I will be showing him the Bullete corpse inside of the ring, by the way.
Yeah. He like squints at it and he goes, I've never seen something like that before.
Very common in my homeland. They are very territorially aggressive creatures. But other than that, you might think of it as just a giant mole, for all intents and purposes. Except for like 1,000 times more deadly.
And did you tell him about like the super big different ecosystem cave system underneath his house, or just that like there was a bullet tunneling?
Yeah, no, I tell him everything. You know, that was what we got paid to do.
He scratches his head and he says, I've only heard about something like that in stories. Call it the depths or something scary like that.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, the tunnel that goes from this hole that is very inconveniently in your basement only goes out, it goes out for about 50 feet before you have to worry about reaching into that ecosystem. So you get a couple of contractors out here, a surveyor, and someone who knows how to manipulate dirt and rock, and should be able to get it patched up with very little comeuppance.
That is good to hear. Despite the fact that you got the job posting from the Merchants Guild of Skymount, I actually intended on paying you myself. One moment. And he like reaches onto his waist and pulls out a big like coin purse, and he like looks at everyone and he goes, how many are there of you? Five of you? Alright.
I have a question, DM.
What's up?
If we take his money directly, would that be screwing the guild? Because I assume they take a cut.
No.
Oh. Okay.
Basically, he specified that he was going to personally pay them, so whatever, like,
commission...
you
did say that, to be fair. You did say that.
Yeah, whatever commission price that they... Like, he's already paid to commission the guild to post this, posting.
Gotcha. I just, I don't want to fuck over your employer, so...
Yeah. He, plucks, he... I know Minnow had to leave, but, like, in my heart, Vivian's here.
Oh, yeah, no, Anodyne is with Xander, and he says, don't forget the cut for our druid here.
Yeah. He, goes, oh, how rude of me. And he takes out 7 platinum and then, 6 platinum and then 6 gold pieces. No, 6 platinum and then 60 gold pieces to make 110 each.
You can lie and say that I count as 3 people, Meta. I won't care. It's okay.
6 platinum, 60 GP?
Yeah. Because it was 110 per person. I believe that maths.
Yeah.
Okay.
Party fun.
Are we not doing any individual gold anymore?
No, we are not.
Oh.
I mean, there's really no reason to.
Yeah.
I mean, if you need something, you can just ask for it. Well, I mean, technically, if you need something, you can just pay for it, because, like...
Yeah, I think it
Roll
was
it here.
everyone moved it to, like, if you had gold already, like, it's your gold, but then decided to do
Any
a party
future
fund.
gold.
Yeah.
I still
This
have
is the party fund.
185 gold pieces that are just mine. The only thing I bought was that fucking armor.
Nice.
We talked about last session. Okay. It was something about, it was making a certain thing y'all were doing easier.
Yeah, we had some accounting issues. Multiple people did. So, yeah, cool. We get the gold from him. And we're going to head back to the Adventurers Guild to turn in the quests.
Yeah, to turn in the one for the Haunted Tower.
Yes.
And I believe that one was just 100 gold per person, correct?
Yeah.
I'm going and looking at my notes. Yep. So that is 600 gold added to the party fund. And
also...
600 gold? I thought you just those 110 per person. Wouldn't it be 660?
Oh, that was for helping Barclay. For the Haunted Tower, that was 100 GP per person. And, yeah, since Minnow is not here and had to leave real quick, I believe, and you guys go and turn in, and by the end of that, it'll be, 8-ish p.m. I think I will end session there.